Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's BOLO Day Saturday. This is a day we do a deep dive into all the items that sold in the last, well, not all, but several of the items that sold the past week on eBay. Tell you what they are, why they sold, how you can find them out there. Why don't you take it away, Mr. Magazine?
All right here I maximized my profits. I bought a box of 1983 Topps Football Cello packs. We sold the packs individually, and now we sold the empty box for $35.
It
Seems a little cheap. I think it was $50 on sale, but we had it up for like what, a few months.
Well, actually, it might be cheap, but that is not a good-looking box.
No, it's
just very
there's
generic.
No artwork on
right.
it. Not in the best shape, right corner splitting, but hey, it is.
Oh yeah, no, you salvage $24,
yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever, yeah.
So, empty boxes do sell if you have the right ones.
Absolutely.
Next up, Nora. First of all, I've never seen this before in my life, but Nora RWBY Rooster Teeth McFarlane figure. That must be what RWBY means. I don't know, maybe not. I know nothing about this, but it took a year and a half to sell, but it did sell for $100.
Oh.
So if you see this Nora, whoever she may be.
Well, probably anything from that series, I would think.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is odd. I don't know if it's manga, anime, whatever it is.
I have zero idea.
It's a cool figure, and there you have it.
Wow.
All right, lucky me.
Indeed.
Next up, God rest his soul, Chris Christopherson, Country Music Magazine, September 1974. It took until his passing to sell this 7 years for $20.
Yeah, and again, it was we've talked about it before. A lot of times, somebody or other will pass, and people will get out and buy it. You almost feel like a vulture. I mean, you obviously had this listed for 7 years, so it's a different story.
It's not like, I found it and I listed it today.
Immediately, but people do that.
Yeah. God rest his soul, Pete Rose, the legend, Hit King, Reds, autographed black baseball, autographed 9, grade 10, PSA DNA. I think I got about 110 out of this one, and we had it listed probably for about a year or so.
Now, is that worth more being on a black baseball?
Yeah, the black baseball is definitely a rare ball, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would that have been, all things being equal, what would it have been on a regular baseball?
We sold a couple from like 65 to 80, depending on what's on the ball and who certified the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And one other question.
Sure.
Why do black baseballs exist? Just for this? Just for signatures? And
yeah, definitely, yeah. But
they're not used anymore.
No, they just look nicer with the black background with the gold stitching.
Okay.
From a collector's point of view, yeah. All right, Pete Rose. We sold a lot of him this week.
You got to click
let's
it.
do the original listing here so we get an accurate presentation.
There you are. Oh!
Autographed 1985
okay.
Topps Renata Galasso, number 119. We've had this listed for about a year, and it sold for $49.
Well, and that's interesting because the other item that you were on was an unsigned one, and it was available for $6. So his autograph added $43 to it.
Yeah, definitely. And he did sign a lot, but he was very popular, and should have been in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Next up, Soundwave Transformers G1 Hasbro Vintage 84 figure. I'm going to say this is near complete because there's probably a gun missing, I'm guessing. Like a black gun that would be in his hand. But anyways, it sold for $50.
Now, what is G1? Is it Generation 1?
Generation 1, yep. These are so there's two types of Generation 1s. There's ones where if you look at his chest plate, that's a holographic sticker.
Okay.
The originals were not holographic, so it's a Gen 1, like version 2, I guess I would call that. Yeah, but still, $50 isn't too bad.
Look at that. I'm learning stuff watching these videos.
Find them in the box. They're going to be worth hundreds.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
Where's the like button so I can hit that?
Oh.
I just learned something.
I wish I knew. Next up, Diamonds Are Forever, 1971 Bond, James Bond, 007, original one-sheet movie poster. Let's see. I think this was up for over a year. I think I took 125 on it. Looks to be decent shape. Not the best picture, but it is a poster. They're hard to look nice, but I don't think I paid anywhere near that, so I'm happy getting the 125 on it.
Let me ask you this. If you were listing that, would you have done something different with the title?
I certainly will put in James Bond, I think. I don't know if people really type, 007 maybe. I don't think
that's what I was wondering. I'm wondering if you dropped...
You definitely want Diamonds Are Forever. 1971 probably doesn't need to be in there. Or you do original. I would say
I would leave 71 and lose
original because it's longer. Yep. One sheet's kind of important unless you put the size in the extra, but you definitely could have shortened it out.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, because even when you read that with the
movie poster, it's a poster and they know it's a movie, so you could probably get rid of movie as well. So, the problem is I'm thinned out with my employees. I can't look over the shoulder every time, but most people are going to pay what they want to pay, and I'm happy anyways.
Well, I guess it comes down to how easy it is for people to find it. I think that's really what it comes down to. Could it have sold 3 months ago, but somebody didn't find it in their search? I don't know.
Because, even Connery could go in there. But where are you putting Connery? I mean, I guess you get rid of original one-sheet movie, then you could put a lot of stuff in place of that. Yeah. So,
just
a lot of options. Next up, Batman Animated Series, Bruce Timm signed McFarlane Gold Label figure. So I don't think he really signed it. Hopefully the person knows that. It's Gold Label. Yep.
Why don't you move that? That would work too.
Yeah. So I think it's called like a signature series.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It might be signed back there. Someone sent. Gosh, maybe it is. I don't know. It looks like that could be a certificate of some sort. Gosh,
it does.
Luckily, I have two of them, so I'm pretty. Hopefully, I have to sign one for myself as well.
Yeah, I would say that's signed. Yeah,
it is signed. It seems a little cheap for that, but it took $60 on it, and
it actually does seem cheap because what would that cost new?
I would think it's probably $50 new. just on the shelf signed, and signed ones probably are not easy to find on the shelf. People are scarfing them up, but the market is what the market is. They listed it correctly, signed, and they knew it was signed, and it sold.
Right.
So
nice.
I think you are up.
Okay.
Of course,
Simon. I butchered it as usual. Life of Colonel Fremont, 1856 booklet, Greeley and Malrath. Actually, this had been sitting in my garage for 15 years, and I finally found it, and I listed it. But the thing that really, really stunned me is that is really all that it's worth. There are, believe it or not, a fair number of these out there. This is not uncommon. Okay. I might have priced it at the high end.
Yeah.
It might have been a $20 to $25 piece, and I said that's a little bit low for something from 1856.
Is there a cover? I don't see a scan of a cover.
That's the cover.
Oh wow, okay. So that's how that's how it came out.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. In fact, I think that was why I didn't list it 15 years ago because I thought it was missing the cover. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out for some reason or other there are more of these out there than you'd think.
Wow.
Don't overpay just because it's 1856. I guess would be the lesson to be learned on that. Somebody's got $15 a piece. It's got to be really good because every once in a while you find something that you're not going to make a lot of money out from back then. And again, that stunned me. Absolutely stunned. I mean, I made money.
At least now I know where Fremont Street came from.
There you go. I'm getting into Mr. Magazine's territory here. Playboy and Penthouse centerfold lot of 80. 1970 centerfolds only. $52, a little bit on the low side. Well, actually not really, because the Penthouse go for less. If those were straight 80 Playboy, they probably would have went for about $75. But you mix the Penthouse in, it lowers it. But I just wanted them gone. I picked them all up together, and I literally counted them. One of the problems that you have, of course, is how do you picture them?
Yeah, you can't.
Because of the nudity. Yeah. So I watched what other people had done, and that was exactly how other people had listed them as well.
Cool.
And it was a poor listing. In that, I literally just said...
You didn't describe any Playmates or anything?
No.
Could be
No. Well, not only did I not describe them, I think I said, 50... Well, I could look down below, but I'm lazy. Yeah. Like 56 Playboy, 24 Penthouse, or whatever the count is.
Right. I got to find mine because I know I got hundreds and hundreds of these somewhere. But again, I might spend a little of my time going through them and just say, hey, here's the top 5 Playmates that you want to mention. Maybe you get an extra $10. I don't know.
Well, the other problem is on the Playboy, it doesn't give the date.
Right.
It does not give the date. Yeah. So I don't know if it's June 74 or what it was. Right. No idea whatsoever. The only way I feel like such a creep. The only way I was able to really date what they were was taking a quick look at the... I had turned on my walks along the beach and taking a look at their date of their births.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what they had below the belt, but okay.
The date of their birth, and obviously if they were born in 1958, it's going to be 76, 77, 78, something like that. It's not going to be 1998 type deal, generally speaking. So that was kind of the way that I did that. Up next, Animation Magazine, August 1987, first issue with Robotech and more. Walter Lantz, Ralph Bakshi. $56.88 at auction, as a matter of fact. And this is why we put everything up at auction. I think I started at about $38 and it went up to $56 at the auction. So I made $18 auctioning it off, which pays for an awful lot of auction listings. So first issues always do sell, as we've noted any number of times. The Flintstones original comic strip art, December 17, 1987, Paymaster Paycheck. Read that, Mr. Magazine. That is very, very funny. Don't you wish you could do that with your employees? What's the idea, Jake? I claim more than double the hours you gave me. New firm policy, Fred. We're only paying for efficient hours now. Exactly.
God, I wish I could do that. I'd be rich. I'd be a rich man.
I picked this up at Heritage. These generally go for a lot more than I paid on them. Why did I get it so cheap? Because they're not colored. Somebody bought one or had one or two, and they actually colored them in themselves.
Really? Wow. Okay.
So this original art has been damaged by being colored by whoever owned it originally. That lowered the price at Heritage.
Wow. Okay.
I did note it as well.
All right.
But I also sold it for less than it would have had it not been.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I made money on it, but that was the reason why it was so cheap. Usually they're $100 on up.
Wow.
Up next, I have never seen this kind of thing before. Kodak, we're buying more bonds. Window sign, home front, World War II. I've never seen one of these before. Have you?
Me neither, but being in Rochester, I'm sure there's more out there somewhere. We just have to find them.
But you would think all these years in, I would have found them.
Right.
And look at that bottom corner's got a little piece missing.
Is that like a 12 by 12 sign? It looks like it'd be like a record, like it looks like a record.
7.5 inch square.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep. So
it's like a 45 almost.
Got an offer of $32 on it, I believe, something like that. And I took it and moved it on out, but I have never seen that before. Now I definitely know to look for that kind of thing again. Up next, Record Month Magazine, January 1977, Elton John, Heart, Beatles, and April Wine, among others. I put that up for bid as well, went for $55. I actually bought this over at Springfield for $1, so quite happy with that over there. Magazine I'd never actually seen before. It's actually a Canadian magazine.
No, I've never had one.
It's actually a monthly Canadian magazine telling you about the records that were coming out that month. So sometimes when you find the oddball magazines like this, they're definitely worth buying. Have you ever had one?
Nope.
Up next, KitchenAid Cookbook, 1930, Rochester, New York, Genesee Valley Court Order of Amaranth. You look right there, Genesee Valley Court. It actually did sell to somebody locally as well.
Is that the real KitchenAid, like the one nowadays, like refrigerators and stuff?
I believe that it is.
Wow, that's impressive.
But yeah, actually, I don't even know. No, I don't think it is. Now that I look at it, I don't think it is. I don't know if that's their logo or not. But a lot of local ads and all that kind of thing there. So you always want to buy stuff like this because of all the local ads. Somebody did buy it local to that area. Up next, Metropolitan Magazine, August 1904. Blendon Campbell, Tangier, George Bernard Shaw, $28. Does seem kind of low on it, but it did take 2 years to sell, so I guess it wasn't. Nice cover over there as well. Just a great magazine. You'll see these when you're out there. And believe it or not, you can buy things like this in piles for $1, $2 each. The people that don't want to deal in magazines don't want to deal in stuff like this either. And as you can see, it's got a little piece coming up on the spine as well. So it wasn't mint condition by any means. In fact, I listed it as acceptable. Some spine paper missing, heavy tears around the borders. So happy to get that out of there given the condition. And the last item we have this week, Mickey Mouse Club Annual, 1957, Walt Disney, Spin and Marty, hardcover book. Have you ever seen this, Mr. Magazine?
No.
Until 2 months ago, I had never seen one. Then when I bought out the estate sale of Disney stuff, I picked up 2.
Oh, nice.
So I had 2. I went on a house call a week ago, and they had one. So
I mean, it looks like something that would be common and popular, but I've never had one.
No, I've had 3, and they've all been within the last 3 months.
Seeing it's only $24, are there a lot on eBay though? Is it common on eBay?
Not overly common, no. Not overly common. Somewhat common, but not as common as you would think that it would be. But yeah, so neat cover. I think you can probably remember that cover, and now you know kind of what it goes for.
Yeah.
All right. If you could hit the like button, we'd definitely appreciate it, and we will see you next video.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You didn't even say take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.